As the competition heats up, the drama between the women has finally begun, and Gary might get caught in the middle. We are recapping week 3 of The Golden Bachelor. Hey guys, it's Kayla Thompson. Welcome back to Shared News. Let me just start this video off by saying I take back every single doubt that I had about The Golden Bachelor. I have been loving this spin-off show. This season is amazing. Gary is an amazing bachelor, probably my favorite bachelor that we've had in a really, really long time. So super excited to break down all the big moments of episode 3 of The Golden Bachelor. All right, let's start right off with the group date. First date of the episode was the big group date with every single woman in the cast, which really rarely happens. We had 12 women on this date, which means that some of the women will actually get more than one date this week, which is pretty cool. So this group date was a talent show hosted by Bachelor alumni Kaitlyn Bristowe. And I have to say these women were absolutely amazing. They handled this date so well. It was so fun to watch. I wish that I was in that crowd that day, watching it live and in person, because we had some amazing talent and some people being incredibly creative. First off, we had Sandra, who started out with some comedy. We had Susan doing karate, Faith sang and played guitar. And like I said, some women were super creative with how they used their talent. Ellen decided to share her talent of teaching middle school level sex education, which was absolutely hilarious. And then April, who has been a hoot since episode 1, did some sort of motivational speech, I guess. It was really funny. It was so much fun to watch. But finally, we had Joan, who was probably the most nervous of the group. She kind of was expressing she felt like she didn't really have a talent or really a lot of stage confidence, but she decided to buck up her courage and share a poem that she wrote for Gary, which was so cute and actually really funny and super endearing. And with that, Gary crowned her the winner of the talent show, and the two had a wonderful dinner together. They both felt super connected afterwards. I think they really just clicked on kind of a different level than they had before. And so they left feeling super excited about their relationship. But unfortunately, the morning after, Joan got a call from her daughter that basically led her to decide to leave early and go be with her daughter and prioritize being a mom. So of course, Gary was very, very heartbroken by this. He was super disappointed because, like I said, they had a super strong connection on their last date, and now their relationship is over before it really got to begin. So really hard to watch. Gary's so emotional. He's so genuine and present, but just very sensitive and in such a beautiful and genuine and different way than I think we've seen in the past with some of the bachelors. And he just encouraged her, this is the right choice that you made. It hurts, but I think you're doing the right thing. Go be there for your daughter and your grandchild. So good on Joan. I hope to see her again soon. Maybe she'll come back next season if they have another season of The Golden Bachelor, because she seemed really sweet. All right, moving on to the one-on-one date of the episode. We had Ellen, who got the one-on-one this week. Started off by her being pulled by fashion designer Michael Costello, who pampered her and had her trying on all these amazing dresses that he's designed, and she got to kind of go and get glammed up and try on the dresses. And I have to say, it was so fun seeing the curtains pull when she would come out and pose in her little dress. It was such a princess moment for her, and I really love that for her. So Gary said he chose Ellen because he's been super, super comfortable with her from the beginning. He's really able to let his guard down around her, and there's something about her that he's just so drawn to with her personality, and he feels like that's a connection he doesn't really have with anyone else yet. But he's looking for a romantic connection with her on this one-on-one date. So Ellen comes out in her final dress, super glammed, and her and Gary go and have a conversation outside. They take time to talk and connect about their humble beginnings and their first marriages, and just really connect on just some really genuine things. And I do see their connection that Gary was talking about. They seem very comfortable. It's like they've been friends for years. And they get on a hot air balloon after, and it seems like Gary has found that romantic connection with with her. They're kissing on the hot air balloon. He gives her the rose, of course, and also a pair of diamond earrings. So Golden Bachelor got budget, y'all. That's all I have to say. And also, I think after watching their one-on-one date, I feel like Ellen could really go far. So we'll have to keep an eye on her. All right, last but not least, let's get to the cocktail party and rose ceremony, because this is where the drama begins. So we've got Theresa, who last week had the first one-on-one date with Gary, and now she's getting a little vocal about the one-on-one date and her connection with Gary, which a few women are definitely bothered by, mainly Kathy. So Kathy's super bothered by this whole Theresa thing. It does seem like Theresa is going to Kathy a lot, and a lot of the other women just openly talking about how great her date was with him, how they talked about the future and all these things. But it ends up being April that tells Theresa to kind of keep some things to herself, seemingly on behalf of Kathy. And after that, Theresa is just shook. She pulls Kathy to the side at some point in the episode, and they end up talking. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, Kathy gives her the smoke. She's very upset. And if you watch the episode, maybe like me, you'll kind of see both sides of this, because I actually feel like Kathy and Theresa are both kind of insecure a little bit. Here's why. So yes, Theresa is definitely oversharing with her connection with Gary, and it's a little much. Definitely have to kind of read the room and ride the line of connecting with the women, being honest, being open, but also being aware that not everyone needs to know all the details of your connection with Gary. But I don't think she's doing it to be disrespectful. I think what she's doing is vocalizing all these great things with her and Gary to comfort herself, because this week she hasn't had a lot of time with him. So she's trying to kind of make herself feel better, not make everyone feel worse. But with Kathy, it's definitely making her feel worse, because Kathy's a little insecure that she hasn't built that strong connection with Gary yet. So I kind of see both ends of it, and I think they're kind of both misunderstanding, mainly Kathy misunderstanding Theresa, but Theresa definitely moving forward should just be a lot more careful with her words. But to Kathy's luck, she ends up having great one-on-one time with Gary. She shares some personal things with him about her dad and how she was raised, and Gary actually is so connected with her and moved by the whole moment with her that he goes and gets a rose from the table and brings it to her, giving her a rose early before the ceremony. And correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think I've ever seen that happen on a Bachelor season. I probably am wrong, but it rarely happens. So I love that for Kathy. I love that she got that kind of validation from Gary. And it's just another point of like Gary being such a cool Bachelor to watch. And he's just been surprising me, because he's really taking the reins on his own season and doing what he really wants to do, but also being so present with each woman, being so thoughtful towards each woman. So I love that for Kathy. But let's break down a little bit of what Kathy said to Gary, because it's definitely did not go missed by him. So she kind of starts the conversation actually by telling Gary that this week she's had some meanness towards her, and that she's definitely not had a great week with some of the women. And so Gary's kind of tipped off, like, wait a minute, what's been going on here? Who are we talking about? Now, to Kathy's credit, she does not name drop Theresa, but she just tells him, hey, not everyone who you've met at face value is who they actually are. Now, I think that Kathy is kind of mischaracterizing Theresa, like I was saying earlier, but definitely is noted in Gary's head. And fast forward to after Theresa's conversation with Kathy, she's crying in her room, her and Faith. Faith is trying to comfort her. And Gary himself, who's just, again, an angel, finds her, is comforting her. But he puts two and two together that, okay, this is probably who Kathy was talking about. But I love that he didn't bring up the issue with Kathy. He kind of just, I think, noted it to himself, said, hey, just take a breath. Everything's gonna be okay. And to be honest, after watching this entire drama moment, I wouldn't have expected anything less than how mature they all were. Because at their age, it's just, that's what's so cool to watch about this show. It's like everyone is at this age where they know themselves, they're comfortable in themselves, they know how to have conversation, they know how to be mature about things. And so that was really great to see that, hey, we don't need to dive into it right now. Gary's just gonna kind of pocket everything and we'll move forward and see how next week goes. But at the rose ceremony, Gary does give Theresa the last rose and ends up sending home Edith, who is jaw-droppingly gorgeous, by the way, and also Christina, leaving 9 women left in this season of The Golden Bachelor. So we are already at 9 women in week 4. But that wraps up this week's recap of The Golden Bachelor. Leave me a comment down below on all your thoughts on all the crazy moments that happened, the women who went home, the talent show, everything, and especially your opinion on this whole Theresa versus Kathy drama, because it doesn't seem like it's gonna end anytime soon. Don't forget to also like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on any of our Bachelor recaps. Once again, I'm Kayla Thompson. You can come follow me on Instagram or on TikTok. I would love to connect with you there. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.